Okay, in this video segment, we're going to use Adobe Photoshop to make uh, learn anyway how to cut out backgrounds. Okay, so I've got Adobe Photoshop here open, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my layers right here. I'm going to kind of move my layers down a little bit. Now, most of the time, your layers are down here in the bottom right. I just like to keep mine out so you can really see them. Okay, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a little picture called Ducky. This is a sample picture that Adobe gives us to play with, and it's a perfect photo for what we want to do. So I'm going to hit File, Open. I'm going to go to my desktop here. Now you'll find this on the server. You can pull that off the server, but I'm going to pick up the photo called Ducky. Now this photograph's been taken of this rubber duck and in a white background, so it's very easy to clip this out. Okay, and the next thing I want you to do is go to File and Open, and you'll go to the server or wherever it's at, pull it on your desktop. I'm going to open up the file called Dune. Okay. In my high school room, the files are in the CTE folder server, and you can go get those out of the Photoshop samples. Okay. So here I've got this Dune picture and this Ducky picture. I'll put them side by side like this. Now, here's how you move things side by side in Photoshop. Okay. Now, sometimes Photoshop puts things in tabs like this, and you can't see your other photo. Where's it at? Well, it's tabbed in place. So you just click on the tab, pull it apart, and there's your photo pulled apart. Now, if you see rulers here, rulers are really nice. You can go into Window and turn those on, or it's Command R. So you can turn on and off rulers. That's for getting precise items. Now, back here, my Dune is back behind this box. So you can always move your Photoshop box around, and then you've got your boxes to move around. I like to move them side by side so I can really work with them. Now, what we want to do is we want to learn to cut out backgrounds and get just the item so we can move the Ducky over here on the Dune. So to do that, there's lots of ways. Now, these are called selection tools. The Move tool moves things. Okay, so I can move the Ducky and put it over here on the Dune, and now you can see it on the Dune. And I could go move it over there. Now, notice my layers. I'm going to pull this up here. Notice my layers. I've got a Ducky and a Dune now because I pulled the actual photo. Now, I wasn't pulling this. That's the whole photo box. The photo itself is when you pull it over. If I pull another one over there, it makes another layer. I've got 3 there. If you want to delete a layer, you basically click on the layer you want to delete and just hit the delete key. That's one way to get rid of it. If you want to go back in time, Command Z is one step back, so now it's back. So if you make a mistake, you can always get it back. Another way to delete a layer is you just click and drag it right down here next to, right here on the trash can. Boom, it's gone. Okay, that's another way to get rid of it. All right. So there's lots of ways to get rid of layers. Okay, so I've got my 2 layers here. Now, if I want to get rid of this white background, some people might do this. They might take their eraser tool, because they're going to erase pixels, and start erasing. But of course, got to be really careful next to the duck here, and if I make a mistake, I lose some of the duck's head. So that's one way to get rid of some things, but that's not the best way. So I'm going to hit Command Z and go back in time. 2 steps back is Command Option Z. Now that's called histories. Your histories are right here in this palette right here. See this histories? This is where I erased, I moved, I deleted things, I moved, I dragged, I moved. You know, everything's done on your histories, and I can go forward in time as well. I've just gotten good at what goes forward and backwards is Command Option Z or Shift Command Z. I like to learn in my keystrokes. Okay, so Shift Command Z. I'm going to go back to. I want to get back here, so I'm going to go to Option Command Z, Z, Z. There, I go back to that. Now, so that's one way to get rid of it. Another person might do this. They might go in and say, I'm going to lasso the duck to get rid of the white. So I lasso around the duck here. And boy, it's pretty tough drawing with a brick in your hand, which is a mouse. Okay, that's what some people call it. And if I hit delete, the Ducky's gone. I'm going to hit Command Z to go back in time. But if I want to invert this selection, see those marching ants? I call those marching ants, but it's called a selection. If you want to invert those, you just basically go to Select, Inverse. And I hit delete. And most of it's gone, but then I've got to get rid of the marching ants. How to do that? Well, it's called a selection, so it's called deselect. Let me hit Command R here so it gets rid of those. So his deselect, so Command D, or select, deselect, Command D. I like hitting Command D. And then, of course, I've got, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I've got problems here to, you know, eraser. I've got to go try to erase some more closer to the duck here. Oh, I got some of the tail. Again, that's not the best way to get rid of the white part on this duck. Now, if you had a photo with lots of items in the background that weren't so significant as white, it'd be a lot easier, okay? Or it would be a lot harder, I should say. So if I want to get rid of this white here, I might take what's called the magic wand. It's hidden under your quick selection tool. So if you look down your list here and you see this tool here, your quick selection tool, just hold down, there's your magic wand. Now I can just click on the white part and it grabbed all the white. How does it do that? Well, the magic wand looks for similar pixels, and boy, the white ones are all similar, they're all the same. And the yellow ones are so much different than the white, just only found just the ones I'm on. So if I hit Command D, I'm just going to show you this. If I hit Command D and clicked on the yellow part, it selects just that part because it's found similar yellow pixels, or similar yellow pixels, or similar red pixels, or similar black pixels. See? Okay. But if you have a lot of really similar pixels, click on the yellow part, boy, it grabs it all. So you click on the white part, or sorry, the white part. Click on the white part, hit delete with your keyboard, your big delete key, not the backspace delete key, but the big one on a Mac. Boom, gone. How do you get rid of those marching ants? Command D. Move tool. And I can move the ducky around. So I've got this perfect cutout. Now I'm going to go ahead and there's another way you can do it. I'm going to hit delete here. I can go over to this magic wand, click on the white part, and then if I want to move it over, oh, I just moved the outside of the duck like it's clipped out. Command, just delete, okay? If you want to do an invert, you go to, again, select, invert, so it inverts your selection. Now here comes your ducky. And again, I'm on the move tool to move things. I'll get rid of this ducky here. All right? So now I've got this perfect duck cut out. Now if I want to make the duck smaller, Command T. Command T is transform, or free transform. Edit, transform, okay? You can transform and make your ducky do all types of things. But if you hit Command T, free transform, you've got your ducky selected. And you've got handlebars. If I click on this handlebar here, I can make it smaller, bigger. See, I'm just transforming this layer here. Squish it, flip it over, click on a corner. If I click outside the box, notice how all of a sudden it turns into a circular arrow. I can spin the duck and make it smaller. Now, when you're done with the transform, I like the ducky the size I've got it. We hit the check mark. Check mark. And then we're done with that, and we still got our ducky. See how it's smaller on this layer. Now, if I want to make a duplicate layer, there's lots of ways to do that. Now, if I want to duplicate the duck here, I can click on the layer itself and drag it right next to the trash can on the new layer palette. Just drag it right there, and it makes a second one. That's one way to do it. I'll hit delete. Another way to do it is I can right-click on the layer here and hit duplicate layer. Okay, now I've got a copy of the duck. Okay, or a really fast way to do it is you hold down Option and drag on it. Notice how there's two arrows? Hold down Option and, oh, there's a second duck. Let go. Hold down Option again, drag, let go. So you can make lots of ducks. Option, Option, Option. Hey, look, all my ducks are in a row. Funny guy. All right, so delete, delete, delete. I can delete them. Go back to 1. If I delete again, it's gone. Remember, I can go forward in time because it's all in histories. All of these histories I've done, it saves about 20 histories back. I can always just go back up the list, and they're all back again. So Photoshop's saving what I've done and a history of what I've done. Okay, pretty cool. All right, so I want 4 ducks here. Now, to find this duck back here, I want that duck. It's not there. Oh, it's on the wrong layer. If I want that one, I have to click on it and go get him out. Click on this one, go bring him over. If I want to, well, let's do this. I'm going to take this top duck right here. I'm going to change the color of it. So let's go to Image, Adjustments, and let's go down here to Hue and Saturation. Now, hue is color, and saturation is the amount of color, and the lightness and darkness of the colors. So if I want to make this ducky some different colors, I just change the hue. Red duck. Okay. If I want to get to this one down here, see I'm stuck on this layer, red duck. Click on this one. Here's this ducky right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Then I'm just going to go to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and I can make this one green. And I can oversaturate it or undersaturate it. Hit OK. If I want to flip him over, I hit Command T, and I can simply I can flip it over this way. I can right-click on it and say Flip Horizontally. I can spin it around. This is kind of fun, though. If you hold down Command, it skews it. So now we can skew the duck in any direction or size or make fat head duck. Okay. To get rid of these marks here, these handlebars, check mark right up here at the top. I'm going to take this duck and do some really wacky stuff to it. Wacky duck. I'm going to hit Command T. Now notice up here, this is cool. Look at this. This is called a warp. I can now warp the duck. It also becomes rubbery. Oh, rubber ducky. Okay. Check mark. Image. Adjustments. Hue and saturation. And I can make them even a different color. All types of duckies you can make and cut them out. They're all on different cutouts. Okay. So if you want to add something else and you've got a good white background, it's easy to delete it using the magic wand. Just a reminder again on that, you just go open. I'm going to grab the ducky here. I can move him on right now. I'm going to look, how come these duckies are on top? When I dragged it over, it was in between these two. If I want to put him on top, I just drag him right up here in my layers. He's on top. Now, if I take my magic wand and click on the white and hit the big delete key, and how to get rid of the marching ants? Those are called selections, so we want to deselect it, so it's Command D. Move tool. Command T to transform, make him smaller. Hold down Command and I can skew it and make it funny looking. Check mark. I can change its color. All types of layers and duckies. Okay? Have fun playing with the ducky assignment.